people. But that is completely wrong. Jancy is a good friend. She will not go and tell other people. But Sophie is worried because she is telling lies all the time.
Over time, then she frowned, sensing she was worried. Yes, that. Well, yes, I did.
So she did not give the complete information. Yes, well, I did. Right? And Jancy frowned. Frown means she gave a surprise look, sensing she was covering. Who was covering? Sophie. What was she covering? The lie or the information. Yes, that. Well, yes, I did. Who says this? Sophie. And see, what does Jancy always know? She also knows her friend because she does not make wild stories just in the house. She knows she wants a boutique, wants to become a manager. So who knows you the best? Your friends, but sometimes they don't know because they are like you. They forget. They know your identity. They know your character. They know how you are. They know what you are thinking. But they are just a teenager like you, so they just forget. But a smart person, an elder person, understands everything. So you see, the father did not go and tell anybody. Geoff went and told when he does not believe in it. Why? Casually, accidentally. And that is why we need to be very careful of what we speak through our tongue. He knows that she is lying all the time. But see, he just gave away the information. Jancy exclaimed. And Jancy also knows. What does she know? That Sophie makes not just this, but these wild stories because she is with her all the time. They are close friends, right? So Jancy knows, and instinctively she says, "You never did." Kya re, bhai? All the time we are together. Yes or no? We are at school together, we are at lunch together, we walk to home together. And then if we have to go out, we are together. Then when did you meet him? Why did you not tell me? So this is the hidden part, and that is the part with literature that it is not straightforward. Chalo.
Sophie glared at the ground.
Glad at the ground. Why? Thinking. Confused. Yes or no? Cannot make eye contact because she is lying. And then this is the very common phrase that is used in the board exam. Damn that Geoff. This was a Geoff thing, not a Jancy thing. And I am repeating again that my stories were just for Geoff. Why did Geoff go and share this with Frank and then now Frank shared it with Jancy? Now if Jancy knows, she will tell the entire world. But that is not true. That is not true. She is lying all the time, so she does not want anybody to know her lies, more lies. Chalo.
Them at Geoff. This thing was a Geoff, not a Jancy thing. It was meant to be something special just between them.
Just between them. Who? Geoff and Sophie. Not between anybody else. Remember we had discussed last class? Sophie brings these stories why? To talk with Geoff. And of course she's a dreamer, so she has to bring such stories. Chalo.
It was meant to be something special.
It,
Just between them. Something secret. It wasn't fancy kind of thing at all.
so something secret between whom? Geoff and Sophie. It wasn't a Jancy kind of thing at all. It was not for Jancy. It was not for Jancy. And what does she say about her best friend?
Well, we teach and see. Something like that. And the whole neighborhood would get to know it. Them and Geoff was scared. It is just
Hold on. So tell gawky Jancy. Gawky. Now she calls her best friend awkward. Is she awkward? No, she is practical. She is the reason. She is the reason for her. She brings her back on the ground but she calls her Gawky. Tell Gawky Jancy something because now she knows something. So this is what happens to us also. Our best friends, if they sometimes do something wrong and you get mad at them, you don't tell them, but tell Gawky Jancy like that, something like that, and the whole neighborhood would get to know that. Now is Sophie telling this out loud? No. All of this conversation from year to year is in the mind of Sophie. Yes or no? Because she's thinking, damn that Geoff. So now she's cursing the brother also. Damn that Geoff. Was nothing sacred? Means nothing sacred over here also means between two people. Just two people. What is sacred? Between two people. बस एक तू राजी था is between two people. There is no third person, but it is very hard. एक sacred. That is why it is sacred. चलो.
It is a secret meant to be.
Who says this? Sophie. I don't want to tell it to other people.
I will keep a secret. So you know that I wasn't going to tell anyone.
So who tells this? Jancy. Don't worry, Sophie. It's a secret. I will not tell anybody. You and I share so many secrets. We are best friends. Have I told anything to anybody? No.
There will be a right old row if my father gets clear about it.
Yeah, so now she is adding extra information. Her father already knows, and father is already angry. Is the father going to tell to somebody? No. But if from the society, if people come to know there's Sophie's one of these wild wrong stories have reached the society, people will come and ask the father, and then the father will have a right old row, R-O-W, means he will get angry. Yes or no? Two reasons. One, Sophie is lying. Second, if people ask him, what will he say? Right? Sometimes, he will also have to save her daughter and say a lie. Yeah, she met her casually. She says that. We don't know. But he'll get angry because he will have to talk to people because now people are asking, oh, your girl met Danny Casey. So it's like that. So father will get angry. But she's trying to explain to Sophie and she's trying to understand how much Sophie knows so that she does not give out more information. There are two parts. One is her meeting Danny Casey. And the second part, they didn't have anything, pen, paper, and then Danny Casey said, let's meet again and I'll give you a autograph. So Sophie wants to know how much Jancy knows and not give out any other information.
Sensibly, a row, I would have thought he would be tough as anything.
He would be chuffed. He would be pleased because everybody is a fan of United. Everybody is a fan of Danny Casey. So he would be pleased that you met Danny Casey. Everybody would be happy. He just won the match last week. 2-0. Look at the goal he made. Oh, amazing. Everybody will be happy. You know this guy personally. He would be chuffed. But she knows that she never met Danny Casey.
She realized then that Nancy didn't know about the date beats.
What is the date beat? This second part where she had told Geoff that Casey is going to meet her again at a date, time and venue. Now who has fixed this date, time and venue in her head? Sophie, on her own. On her own. But good, Geoff just said they had met once. He had not said more. Now again I am telling you why he had not said more. This is again, he did not want to speak, but some casual conversation came out because when you are with friends, you talk about things that you should not be talking about.
Gio hadn't told about that. She breathed more easily.
She breathed more easily. Now she knows that She does not know. Now, if Jancy comes to know, right, that Danny Casey is going to meet her again, what is she going to ask for? She's going to say, take me also here. I'm your best friend. Why you take autograph? Why I cannot take an autograph? And that is what is the other thing. And it is all a lie. So now I am telling you, literature, if you read on your own, all of these interpretations you don't get. It is not that very simple. And then you know, when you know all of this, then you can write the answers when they ask you in the exam. Right now you just feel that somebody is talking to you about all these things in detail, and most of you may be sleepy. But the details, the devil are in the details. Why are we going in such details? Because the questions will be asked like this. Because nobody gives you this detail, the summary. You have to read and you have to interpret all of the things on your own. Chalo.
So GF had not let her down after all.
Why he had not let her down after all? Because he had not shared the second part, which was a blatant or a very bad lie. Chalo.
He believed in her after all.
Now he believed in her. Now she's again making up. Does Geoff believe in her? No. This was something that just came off.
After all, something might be sacred.
Now all of this she's thinking in her head. Geoff didn't tell everything. So he's a good brother. He did not give out the complete information. He just gave some information. Good brother. I can share secrets. He's my best brother. See? Going back, coming forward. Going back, coming forward. What she should be doing? She should be studying. She should be creating those new designs. She should be thinking about what to do. She should be thinking about, okay, even if I start at the biscuit factory, how do I get to better work or better college or better training program so that I can move myself out of this condition? But no, that is what is silly with teenagers. That is what is silly with all of us. We don't want to do what we have to do. That is the problem. Chalo.
It was just a little thing, really. I asked him for an autograph, but he hadn't had not any paper or a pen, so it was no good. How much had Geoff said?
So she just gave the first part again. To whom? Jancy. And then now again she started thinking, how much had Geoff said? How much should I tell her? Why? Because all of this is a lie. Chalo.
Jesus, I wish I would have been there.
Now remember God. Why? Because you have done everything wrong. That is what we do. We want to do bhajan in the end. We want to pray to God last day of the exam. We want to say, come and help us. And we want to shout and sit at the temple and say, help me out, help me, give me 5 questions. It does not work that way. Whenever you are in trouble, you call for God. That is how not life works. Even God helps those who help themselves. Here she does not want to help herself. Chalo.
Of course, my dad did not want to believe it. You know what a misery he is.
So now she started cursing her dad. You know how my dad, he is a misery. Earlier she said, Sophie has said, Jancy had said that, see, if your father comes to know, he'll be very happy. Now in front of her friend, she's saying, my father, if she comes to know, he does not want to believe. He's a misery. You believe? Geoff believes. Nobody else wants to believe. See? Chalo.
But the last thing I need is pieces of people.
Quizzes. Cues.
Views of people around our house asking him.
So, if you tell other people, people will come to my house and they will ask my dad. And I don't want that. So, she is indirectly telling Sophie not to share this with anybody else.
What is all this about? Danny Casey, he would murder me.
So, who would ask this dad? What's all this about Danny Casey? And he would murder me. Means here, he would not literally murder her, but he would get angry.
And you know how my mom gets when there is a rope.
When there is a problem, my mom is an emotional lady and she does not know anything. She is simple. See, now she blames her mother also. And she does not want to do anything for her mother. But my mom is emotional. My mom is a simple lady. When people come to the house and start asking for this delicacy thing, my mom will to get, she'll not be able to manage all of this. She is blaming the brother who is a nice brother. She is saying my father will get angry. Now she also brings out her mother. And that is what we all do. Chalo.
Then she said, you can trust me. So, you know that.
So Jansi is saying, Jansi said, hushed. Shh. You can trust me, Soph. You know that. So what does he say? I will not tell. I will not tell. And then what has Sophie done smartly? She has convinced Jansi to make sure that she does not spread the news from this point onwards. And now the last part, which is the saddest part. This is the saddest of the saddest parts. Why is it the saddest part? Because it's like you imagine the things that are not there and you live in those realities in real life. It is like Charlie living on the Grand Central Station in the 3rd level, which is very bad. This brings you sadness. Some people think you already think you are at a good university. You can think like that, but then you have to work. But some people already think they are at the Hogwarts School of Sorcery and Magic, like Harry Potter. Life does not work like that. Yes, Krupesh. Loudly, please. That is Sophie in her head. I wished I had been there when Geoff told Frank and when Frank told Sophie. So I would know how much Geoff had shared. So I don't give over information. Clear? Chala. Hold on, hum up.
After dark, she walked by the canal, along a sheltered path lighted only by the glare of the lamps from the world across the water, and the unceasing drone of the city was muffled and distant.
So this is after dark. She chose a place after dark. And she went outside of the city where there was a canal, when there are no people. She picked up the bench, a lamppost near the canal, a beautiful place like a garden. Right? Why? Because it is lonely. Why? Because a guy is going to come and meet him. Why? Because somebody like this meets in a lonely place so that people don't come to know. Plus, this guy is a footballer, so he cannot come in public places. So all of those things together. So unceasing drone means noise of the city. Muffled means mute. So she went out of the city where there was a canal. And who had fixed this place? Who had fixed this time? Sophie. Why? Because she has never met Danny Casey. And where has all these been fixed? In the mind. And this she had told Geoff. And Geoff did not believe in it. Otherwise, Geoff would have come with her, no? Geoff does not believe in her. So she decided all of this. And also went to the place she decided, which is very bad. And this is sadness. This is like Charlie trying to find the Grand Central Station on the weekends so that he can escape to Galesburg, Illinois. No, it is Sophie. So it could be that I wish I would have been there with you when you met him. It could be because they are both together all the time. Could be. Chalo.
It was a place she had often played in when she was a child.
She had played at this place, a garden.
There was a wooden bench beneath a solitary elm where lovers sometimes came.
So wooden bench, solitary means single. Elm means elm tree, where people lovers came sometimes, couples came sometimes. So she chose such a place. But she had also played at such a place when she was young. Her parents would bring her out so that she can play in the garden at the canal, near the canal. Chalo.
She sat down to wait. It was the perfect place. She had always thought so. For a meeting of this kind.
Who has decided this place? She herself. And that is bad.
For those who wished not to be observed, she knew he would approve.
She knew he would approve. Has she met him? Really? And he would approve? No, she has not met him. But again, it's an imagination. It's like if he meets her and if they talk to each other and if this thing happens, then he might approve of such a place. Yes, that could be. But again, all of this is a story in her head. And imagine somebody not going to this place and lying in their bed and imagining this story. That also is true. And you know, scientists imagine all the time. We did not have these mobile phones and everything earlier. It is an imagination of the scientists, and they brought things to life. But for that you have to work. Yes or no?
Yes.
But she wants to work on something completely. So scientists who worked on the mobile phones or radio waves or internet and everything. Do you think that they just sat and thought about this, or they started studying the field in detail? But that is what Sophie does not want to do. Imagine this lying in her bed and thinking about these stupid things. What will happen? Sometimes what people do is when they go to universities, they think like this and then they start failing from the first year. Why? Because they don't have goals. And that is why, this is the place at high school level. We need to make sure that we change our habits, we build our goals, we build our systems. Chalo.
For some while, waiting, she imagined his coming.
Oh, imagined is coming. You see, everything is an imagination. Is he coming? No. Chalo.
She watched along the canal, seeing him come out of the shadows.
Imagining him coming out of the shadows. Ghost. Now he has become a ghost. He is coming out of the shadows. Imagination, very bad. Imagination, very good. If you put action.
Imagining her own consequent excitement.
So she is excited now. He's coming, walking towards her slowly from the shadow. It could be a dog. It could be an old person who is tired and just come out for an evening walk. It could be an evening jogger. Yes or no? It could be. But see, he's coming. You've never met him. How is he coming? Chalo.
Not until some time had elapsed.
Elapse means past. She kept sitting and she kept imagining he's coming, and time passed, half an hour, 1 hour. And then she realized that he's not going to come. He has broken his promise. He told me he will come, but he has not come. And men are like this. They promise and they don't do the things. All of this. What is it? A bad life, a bad story. This is what something that we need to avoid in our lives. Action. And if you think like this, I keep telling you will get a tempo, rickshaw, khatara. And the future that you could have gained is lost. Chalo.
Did she begin balancing against this idea of his not coming?
So she waited and then she, he will not come. Anyways, he was not going to come. How is he going to come? This is not real. This is all your stupid story.
Here I sit, she said to herself, wishing Danny would come, wishing he would come and sensing the time passing.
Wishing. Again, thinking bad. This is where you bring yourself sadness. Own sadness. Chalo.
feel the pangs of doubt stirring inside me.
There should be no doubt. You have not studied for the exam. Will you get the grade? I will not get the grade. I will not get the grade. Bhai, you have not studied. And then sometimes you tell your parents, I had worked very hard. I had asked all the questions in the class. I was attentive in the class. Sir does not know how to teach. What is that? Sadness. You have to work. Nothing works like even the sun has to come out every day. It cannot go on a hartal. It cannot say, I will not come today. Even those godly things have to work. But human beings, they feel like they not want to work. Chalo.
I watch for him, but still there is no
He is not going to come. You are not going to get the marks or into the university that you have not worked for. Does it happen like you don't apply to the university, you don't give the 12th grade exam, you don't give the entrance and still you get the admission? Does that happen? Then it's the same thing, Buckingham Palace. Or these Disney stories. And they are what they are called is fairy tales. Once upon a time, they start like that. And why are they called fairy tales? Because magic happens in them. Here, it is all wrong. Nothing magical is going to happen. Chalo.
I remember Geoff saying he would never come, and how none of them believed me when I told them.
Because why? Because everybody knew she is lying all the time. And such things don't happen. People don't tell you that they will meet you again. They don't give you a date, time, venue, place. And not footballers. And not the best ones. Chalo.
I wonder what will I do? What can I tell them now if he doesn't come?
So this is the worst part of sadness. This leads to anxiety, and then this leads eventually to depression, sometimes also called self-sabotage. She's lying now, and it is a lie, and now she's thinking, what will I tell other people that he did not come? Arey bhai, you have never studied. What will I tell mom that if I did not get good grades? You have not studied, my dear friend. What is there to tell? You have to tell your parents honestly that I did not study and that is why I'm not getting the grades. But you are thinking now, what will I tell my mother because she'll be worried? What will I tell my father? Or what will I... So all of this, what are we doing? We lying to ourselves. Chalo.
But we know how it was. Danny and me. That's the main thing.
It was no how it was. I had studied hard for the exam. You didn't even touch the book, but you had studied hard for the exam. So that is the main thing. It is between me and Danny. If nobody wants to understand, they don't understand, let it be. Sadness. You had not even touched the book before the exam and you wanted full marks, and now when mom and dad are asking or teachers are asking, you are saying, let them go to hell. I had studied. Sadness.
How can you help what people choose to do?
How can you help people choose to believe? Prajwal sir is despondent. He's crazy. He believes I don't study. My dad's crazy. My mom's crazy. The entire world's crazy. Does he not know I'm doing these extra classes in the evening? Just punching things on the computer. When the teacher is in front, I don't study. But I study in front of a computer showing the video. When teacher shows the right video, I sleep in the class. But I am doing the wala. So it is between me and the wala. You don't know.
But all the same, it makes me despondent. This knowing I'll never be able to show them they are wrong to me.
So this is again sadness. You are lying and you want to show to other people that they are wrong. What is this? Sadness. The worst part of sadness. We have not done anything and we want to prove people that we have done something and we have done something right. Chalo.
She waited. Measuring in this way, the changes taking place in her. Resignation was no sudden thing.
She is like overthinking. All of this is overthinking. And then she does not want to give up on this resignation over here is does not want to give up on overthinking and to prove other people wrong when she is completely wrong. Not that straightforward a language. Yes or no? Does not want to give up, does not want to leave the place, wants to stay there, wants to think, okay, what will she tell people? You don't want to leave the exam hall and say, I knew everything but I forgot. But you never had studied in the first place. You just want to show that off. That's like that. Very bad.
Now I have become sad, she thought. And it is a hard burden to carry. This sadness.
Who brought her the sadness? Herself.
Sitting here waiting and knowing he will not come. I can see the future and how I will have to live with this burden.
Oh, who created this burden of the lie? Herself. Nato jawano ne. He was not going to come. This is not real.
They of course will doubt me, as they always doubted. But I will have to hold up me,
Hold up my head.
head, remembering how it was.
Hold up my head even when you are wrong is sign of ego. I will keep telling people that I had studied for the exam, but मैं क्या करूँ? भूल गया. मैं क्या करूँ? मैंने तो सब sometimes what we do, mom, I had written everything. Dad, I had written everything. Still the teacher, he would not have understood. That is why he did not give me the marks. Ask him to give the paper. They will never show the paper. Why will they not show the paper? Because they are wrong. In the board exam, you can also get the paper. But how do we convince others when we are wrong? We say we are always right, and that is the ego. Sir doesn't know how to check. Does he even know how to teach? No. So how would he check the paper? And I had written everything. Paper. When you were young, you would talk to the teacher in PTM and tell your parents, ask him to give the paper. And when the paper would come out, your parents would know. And they would not say anything. Because you had not written anything in the paper. The paper nahi dekha. Came because teachers are wrong. And the students are always right. Teenagers are always right. Chalo.
Already I envisage the slow walk home and Geoff's disappointed face. When I tell him he did not come, that Danny, and then he'll fly out and slam the door.
Do you think Geoff is waiting home for her to come and ask her this question that whether he came or not? Again, all of this is what? Overthinking. મેં તમને કીધું ને એવું. You have not studied and you have told everybody that you have worked very, very hard and now you want to prove everybody wrong. Right? Yes or no? But again she'll say, but we know how it was. I shall tell myself, Danny and me. What is the main thing? I had studied. They had not seen I was sitting on the bench 8-10 hours a day. But sitting on the bench means working? It is not working. But because I was sitting in the class, I was sitting in the bench, I was there in the class. Sir, attendance હતું કે નહીં? Attendance was there, but attendance with eyes, Arman, closed. Then? And then you say, you had worked very hard. Chalo.
It is a hard thing, this sadness. She climbed the crumbling steps to the street. Outside the pub, she passed her father's bicycle, propped against the wall, and was glad. He would not be there when she got home.
So she would not have to explain to her father. Again, does the father believe? No, right? Does the father believe? But now she's saying, Hush, dad will not be there home. And if I go home and dad asks whether he met him or not, then I will not have to explain that to dad. Right?
Excuse me, but aren't you Danny Casey? Coming through the arcade, she pictured him again outside Royce's.
What is this? This is the cycle of that daydreaming, right? And this is the worst thing somebody can have. You don't come out of that vicious cycle. Again she is imagining. આટલું બધું થયા પછી પણ I know everything inside my subjects. How bad is that? How sad is that? Yes or no? This is a cycle, and this cycle is really depressing. Yes or no? Sometimes we cannot get out of our own thoughts. And one of the reasons we cannot do that because we don't take action. Chalo. We finish this because it is not much. नहीं વધારે છે. Chalo, we'll do it tomorrow. Let's stop it over here. You understand this much? Clear? Okay, chalo, let's stop over here.